In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends and fellows here in Pakistan and abroad, there are enough number of people here in our society and elsewhere who are of the view that there is no purpose of living now, that my life is quite an unhappy and quite an unsuccessful one, and there are certain mistakes obviously done by me, but there are people, bad people, and the bad society where I was born, where I am living, and this bad society in general is hurting me a lot, is depriving me of the rights I should have been, given honorably, respectfully. And there are people who have done quite a bad thing with me. There are people who have persecuted. There are people who have victimized me. There are people who have snatched from me, who tried to snatch from me whatever I do possess. And maybe they will snatch from me whatever I am carrying with me. This is the kind of situation going on in the minds and the hearts of the people, and there are a good number of people, there are a good number of people here in this society as well as in the other societies, but here in a society like that of Pakistan, why do I mention it, our society first? Because obviously there is a lack of justice system in the society, and because there is no social justice here in the society, and for that reason, as for the human rights violations are concerned, these are much more in numbers as compared to the western developed countries. But now the question is that is there any sort of solution to this problem, to this sort of situation? Yes, of course there is a solution, and there are usually more than one solution to each and every problem we are having. But here obviously we are going to talk about one solution which has been tried and tested by millions and millions of the people across the world, and they have found it very useful, very beneficial, and for that reason we have chosen that particular solution of the problem, of not only one problem, rather the couple of problems, maybe most of the problems. My dear friends, we had heard one, maybe we are listening it, you know we are listening it, and people know it, some of the people know it since the centuries, but more and more people, more and more number of people, more and more ratio of the people in the society are coming to know about it, and this is the way we think. The way we think matters, and matters a lot, and it will not be wrong if at all I say, it will not be wrong if at all I say that this is, the solution of the problem. The solution of the problem lies here more than at any other place, my dear friends. Why? Because there are people who are having even more troubles, even more problems in their lives, but they are not this much of unhappy, they are not this much of stressed, they are living a far better life as compared to far better life in the sense, not necessarily that they are having more material objects, like they are more healthy, like they are more wealthy, they are more influential. Neither they will be wealthy that much, nor they will be influential that much, but still their life is good one, although they are having so many of the troubles and the problems in their lives. Why is it like that? The reason behind it, that they think positively and they think differently. They think positively and they think differently. That is really important. It is actually the thinking, the way we think, which matters a lot. If at all we are thinking in one way, like call it a negative thinking, this actually means that the lesser problems and the more trouble, the more trouble, the more mental stress, the more depression, the more unhappiness, the more sadness, the more troubled relationship, the more troubled economy, etc., etc. It is all because the way we think. If at all we are found thinking negative, it actually means that nothing will remain positive, nothing will remain constructive, and nothing will remain, pleasant in our life as well. And everything else will become unpleasant, regardless of how much of the money we are possessing, how much of the resources we are having. If at all you don't believe in, if at all you don't believe in this thing, then there are enough number of the rich people, influential people in the society, but they are not very happy, they are not very satisfied about their life, and they remain stressful quite often, while there are people who are not that much stressful despite the fact that they are having even more troubles, even more problems in their life, but they are not having a stressful life, they are living a kind of normal life. Sometimes they are sad, sometimes they are happy, and usually they are normal, and this normalcy is the right thing. It only will come if at all are we restrict our thinking to become a positive one, to look upon what we have and not to ignore what we don't have, looking upon what we do have and ignoring what we don't have. I think that is the right approach, and that approach can make us a happy human being. That approach can make us a successful human being. If at all we are a happy human being, if at all we are a normal human being, it actually means that we can do a better struggle, better, we can work better. Our quality of the work will improve, our quantity of the work will improve at the same time, but not only our quality or the quantity of the work, rather our relationships with the people will improve a lot as well. We will be having a far better interaction with the people, and this far better interaction with the people is will be responsible for our successful, for our happy life, for our normal life at least. Even if at all there are troubles, even if at all there are problems in my life, I shall be able to solve many of these if at all I am positive enough, if at all I think positively, and also I shall be able to learn to live with the problems. Learning to live with the problems, that is also important, very important indeed, my dear friends. And if at all we learn to live with the problems on the one hand, and we are striving and struggling, we believe that I shall be able to solve many or most of my problems. I shall be able to move forward, I shall be able to develop, and I think this is something really great. Now let's start thinking differently, because a different sort of thinking will make us, live better, live longer and live better.